start feeling a little bit of...
Okay, here we go. I'm getting feedback in my ear. I'm hearing my... Did you turn my voice up? No, still hear my voice.
Testing. No, I don't have any. I don't need one.
No, you don't. I've been excited all week to do this show because I really want to get back to people and raise the awareness on this and both of us. Hi, everyone. Welcome into Prime Time. I am so excited about our show today. I'm one of your hosts, Barbara Marville-Kelly. I gave my husband the day off today because it's all about Krisula Gause and myself to really share some amazing information with you. But first, we want to talk about a story. Maybe some of you are our Facebook friends, and you've actually seen some of the postings from a little over a year ago when I went down on the dance floor, and I could not get back up. And that is the honest to God's truth. It was the end of August, I think, Krisula.
Yes.
The end of August, I went down on the dance floor because I'm a Motown girl, and the peppermint twist was playing. Now, you can't do the peppermint twist on 2 feet. You have to get up on one leg and really boogie, right? I don't know what happened. I did not have proper dance shoes on, for one thing. Could have been that. Could have been anything. But the point of it is that I went down, and I did end up in the emergency room with a diagnosed torn meniscus and ACL.
Right.
Now, normally, you go to your sport medicine doctor, and they're going to either tell you that it can only be fixed with surgery, or if you have some alternatives that you want to try and ask for their blessing, it may go that way. So it was amazing because I had never done anything like that. I was on a walker, Cher Kissler, on the dance floor over at Leo's. It was my friends. I never go out dancing with the girls, ever. But as you know, everybody's going through stuff. I was invited to go out, and I wanted to support my friends. And Helena was one. She picked me up, literally picked me up off the dance floor. Cher and Marcy.
Oh, that's right, Marcy.
Marcella did. And I mean, it was just like, really?
Thank goodness you're small.
I know, right? They didn't have far to go. Stop that. So anyway, Krisula was over at Cher's one day, and what were you guys talking about? Something, and she told you.
Yeah, we were doing a class, and before my class, she's like, "Oh, Krisula, did you hear what happened to Barbara?" And I'm like, "No, what happened to Barbara?" Oh my goodness! Then she proceeded to tell me what had happened. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta go over there. Call her up."
So this one, Krisula, called me up and said, I'm coming over with the Beamer. Now, the Beamer mat I've been aware of for a long time. And I had not had any sessions on it until Krisula called and said, I'm on my way with the Beamer. We've got to get you started with this.
Absolutely.
Well, just before that, after I left the emergency room with a big old cast on my leg, a removable one, with all the straps and all of that. And Cher comes over the next night with a walker.
Yes,
a walker.
Yes. She said that she had to bring a...
on a walker. And I think I was in shock for 2.5 weeks because all I did was laugh.
Yeah.
I laughed, me, of all people, active, a dancer. I work out. I eat properly and all of that kind of good stuff. And then here I go down on the dance floor, and I'm sitting there while my husband is the caregiver. Poor, God bless his soul. I would not have wanted to be a caregiver for myself. trust me.
We're the worst ones. When we help people, then we're like, oh my gosh.
And you don't realize, sometimes we take it for granted,
Right.
you know, our health.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
our mobility and
Absolutely.
all of that. And so long story short, Krisula came over, and I had already done my research on the Beamer mat. And as you know, when my husband and I come on the shows, we only talk about things that we really believe in, and you know that.
Oh, absolutely.
Krisula has been in our family. She's like in the family as a family member by now. She's also one of our certified Tai Chi instructors
Yes.
and master trainers, which means she has
Thank
really
you.
climbed those levels. And she's also a Reiki master of her own right, and many other modalities. And she is also officially our personal herbalist. And so we like to be used as guinea pigs to see what works and what doesn't work and things of that nature. And we've done our research on the adaptogens when it comes to herbs. So Krisula is very well-rounded, and we've learned to really trust her with her judgment in helping us with different things. Now, I do want to preface the show by saying we're not here to diagnose or make any kind of claims to cure, and I will let you know that everyone does get different results. They will
Absolutely.
always vary from person to person.
Absolutely.
We started, let's see, at the villa.
Yes. Yes.
You brought the Beamer mat, the
Correct.
chair over, and we actually opened up our villa to some of our friends.
Yes.
Helena was one of them because she was having a leg issue.
Right.
And
Numbness.
and some other friends. And I would say within the first couple of weeks, now mind you, I was on the walker.
Yeah.
I was still on the walker,
And you're like, oh my gosh.
I know, right? And we came over, your cottage was on the first floor, so we were coming over there, and then you were
Right.
coming over to our house, or vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah, that was, but we did about a first month at your house, right? At least.
yeah,
At least
and that
the
was like a
first-
couple times a day. This gal just dedicated herself, and I could just sense her breathing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'll be there at this time. Oh, wait a minute. Can I come a little bit later? Can I come a little bit earlier? But we made it work. I prayed every day. I had nothing but laser beam focus on nothing else but healing this knee.
Absolutely.
I prayed to just be able to walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really did. I said, Lord, please, just get me walking again. I can't do this walker thing. I can't do this sit-down thing. I'm too active, and I'm on a mission. And I even had the walker here at the studio.
Did you really?
Yes, I even did an open house with the walker.
That's right.
Remember?
I remember you saying that.
Because you helped
Absolutely.
me get moving around. I was on the walker for 2.5 weeks,
That's
and I
right.
chucked that. Everybody said, how come you haven't why didn't you bling that out and
Yeah.
make it personalized? I
You're
go,
like, "It
are
ain't
you kidding?
mine."
I'm not taking ownership of that. I'm ditching that
Absolutely.
ASAP. So we did a few sessions on it, and I started noticing a difference. It was clicking in the very beginning was a major symptom, and I couldn't bend my leg. If you
That's right.
remember,
That's right. Yep.
I could not bend my leg. I don't know what happened. I did go to the local sports medicine doctor,
Yes.
and I said, can I have your blessing? I had to go for the MRI
Yes.
and all of that. There was a little dispute between the radiologist and the doctor, but he gave me my blessing to try something myself. They gave me a script for PT. When I went for physical therapy, as you know,
Right.
I asked her, Lee, what she thought about the Beamer. She said, oh, you have the Beamer? I go, well, no, not yet, but I have someone that wants to help me with this. And she said, do the Beamer, do the PT. I did both. And I tell you, I cannot even thank you enough. If it wasn't for a combination of that and my restrictions and really being dedicated, I don't know where I'd be today, Krisula.
Absolutely. And I think that's very important that you brought that up because, we need to work with the PT. You know, to get the maximum out of the Beamer is to work in partners with either your doctor, your physical therapist, and all that, to let them know what you have, you know. And sometimes, you know, there's different types of protocols or different that they might want you to do or not do. So it's very wise. That's the best way to do it.
And that's what we did. And so I thought, you know, we've been branding this little mantra about our 2020 vision for 2020. And
yes.
from my heart to yours, our mission is to really help as many people as we can.
Absolutely.
Based on what we've learned. And we've learned a lot. We still have a lot to learn. We all do in this thing called life
Yes.
on Earth as we know it. And I thought, we have the most beautiful TV platform. This goes worldwide. It goes worldwide. And if you remember, we had a lot of friends going through some crazy, crazy things
Yes.
in their
Oh, my
lives.
goodness.
From misdiagnosed,
Oh, my
a
goodness.
stroke, to this, to that. I mean, just crazy stuff. And again, we're not making any claims here to treat or diagnose or anything like that. But we're just telling you what happened with us. And I said, we need to set up our own triage center.
Yes, that's what we called it.
Our alternative triage center for our friends, excuse me, to share what we're doing, what's working, what's not, whether it's a supplement, a powder, a this, a that.
Absolutely.
And for us, it was the Beamer. And I just thought, we have got to bring you on to show and to give back and to let people see and hear how this works, and let you see that this is an alternative option that just may help you help your body heal itself.
Absolutely.
We're all born miracles, right?
Yes,
We're we're brought into this world with gifts and treasures and the ability to heal ourselves. And the more we learn about the magic of the body and the ability, it's so fascinating, isn't it, Krisula?
Oh, my goodness, it is. Every time I learn something, I love to research. And what you learn, right? What you learn from just picking up the Beamer or, you know, WebMD or all of these places where you can look up things. The more you learn, the more you want to learn, right?
You know, yes, that's true. We have a couple of videos that we're going to go to in just a moment, if we can. But I want you to share, too, what you've noticed and why you made your initial purchase of the Beamer, because Krisula happens to be, she's a triathlete. Yes. And you've accomplished a lot, girlfriend, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And she's a grandma,
Yes,
right?
I'm an abuelita.
So what spurred you into purchasing the Beamer and get started on it?
Okay. Well, first of all, we started off with my husband. My husband heard about the Beamer, heard about the circulation. He had an elbow a discomfort with his elbow, and a friend of ours had the Beamer mat, and she's like, come on over, try it out. So we went over there. The first time he felt a little bit of a difference in his elbow discomfort. The second time it was gone. And then when we started finding out what it does with the circulation, he's like, oh my goodness, I want one. Now, mind you, my husband is 20 years my senior, and he's like, I need to get this. And I'm like, no, let's wait. And anyways, we ended up getting the Beamer, and I started using it for my triathlons, so for endurance. So that's what I use it too. I sometimes cheat on stretching, so I get on the Beamer, and hey, I feel okay.
But it's okay. I mean, you're not having to get tested or anything like that, because it works through that microcirculation and allows your body to do whatever your body needs to do when it needs something.
Right. So the work of the reoxygenating the body, right? So we all work with oxygen. So it helps to facilitate the oxygen.
He's playing that while we're talking. Okay. Here we are.
Okay.
But I'm glad that these videos, and we have another one that we're going to show in a little bit, but when you were... Oh, it was the website? Okay, thank you. So when you were doing your triathlon, how soon did you notice something?
Oh my goodness. I am 52. I started doing triathlons when I was 49. And as I did them, you eventually get a little better and better. What I noticed is when I started using the Beamer therapy with my triathlons and my endurance, I started to podium. I started to PR. So I felt it, and right after my tries, I would feel amazing. I wasn't tired. I was like ready to go. Okay, honey, what are we going to do? Let's go do. And my husband's like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm perfectly fine. And the more I did it and the more I do my triathlons and all that, an hour and a half of extensive working out, I don't feel that exhaustion at the end because I do it right before, and then when I would go home, I would do it right after. And if you want to see what it has done, the RAM, the Ride Across America, which was they actually did what was it?
Documentary?
A documentary on ESPN. So look that up. And when they showed how they used the Beamer mat, the Beamer therapy, with the Ride Across America. So that would be a good thing for you to look up. Just for, it's nice for you to go and look at different types of
modalities.
Research, from not just one person, just so you can get an idea of what it does.
Exactly. And I think that it's important for you to research as we do. We
Absolutely.
research the researchers. That's very, very important because there's a lot of stuff out there that we don't even want to touch. Let's go ahead and show you a video, and this will help explain a little bit more. And then we're actually going to demonstrate the Beamer.
Yes.
And I'm ready for a session on my knee for maintenance. And we'll be right back after you watch this.
Breathing. Breathing is the first thing we do when we're born, and the last thing we do before we die. We can stay alive for long periods without eating, drinking, or sleeping. But if we cannot breathe, we die within a few minutes. Oxygen cannot be stored. It must be replenished continuously and steadily. Once inhaled, the oxygen makes its way to the lungs and hitches a ride with the red blood cells. Oxygen gains access to the body's cells through an internal network of vessels. Your heart is a champion. It works non-stop 24/7. Your heart electrifies itself, maintains blood pressure, and acts as the major pump to get your blood moving. The heart, together with the entire network of vessels, are known collectively as the circulatory system. Although it's easy to think of these vessels as a glorified plumbing system found behind the walls in your home, blood vessels are actually active, dynamic organs capable of contracting and expanding as they deliver nutrients and oxygen, carry away waste products, and help maintain blood pressure. Along the way and further from the heart, the blood vessels become smaller and smaller, like branches of a tree. By the time blood reaches these small areas, the big pump and push that the heart supplied could use a little help before reaching their target tissues. And though it may appear as if the blood doesn't have to travel far at all, the blood vessels, if strung together, would equal a length of 100,000 kilometers, or 75,000 miles. That's enough to go around the globe nearly 2.5 times. So the pump and vessels together make a closed system that begins and starts at the heart. The same 5 liters of blood cycles through your body all day, every day. To make this long journey, our blood vessels rhythmically contract and relax. This greatly assists the delivery of oxygen and nutrient-rich blood to all organs and tissues. This vasodilation process is vital to normal functioning of our entire body. Every part of our body needs blood to deliver oxygen and nutrients. And just like the trash man, we need blood to take away all the built-up wastes, such as carbon dioxide and lactic acid. The rhythmic vasodilation and vasoconstriction doesn't always work as well as it should. Lifestyle factors and age can play a role, slowing down the heart's important helper. Diet, exercise, sleep, and how many candles on your birthday cake are all contributing factors. What happens is, because the contractions of the smaller blood vessels aren't occurring as frequently, there is less oxygen and nutrients being delivered to organs and tissues. This also means there is less waste being removed. Over time, this can lead to dysfunction. If the dysfunction accumulates for a long enough period, many cells and tissues become chronically stricken with waste buildup. In addition, these tissues are also forced to contend with prolonged lack of nutrition. You may start to notice this in a variety of ways, such as a lack of energy, poor fitness, and challenged sleep routines. Beamer therapy devices promote the foundation for health, and for more than 2 decades have been developing patented technology aimed at providing a non-invasive, non-chemical mechanism for the improvement of blood flow.
So hopefully that gave you a little bit of education. I was really taken back by the brain when it was showing that dark gray area, and it was like the toxins in the brain.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, no wonder. You know, just before the show, we were talking about digital dementia.
Right.
That's a thing today. Have you heard about it? In fact, one of the shows here on WeBeam did a whole show on that.
I know. I have to go back and look at it.
I do,
because
too.
I have little ones because
Yeah.
I'm the abuelita.
Yeah.
And that really, like, 2 hours?
It's
That's the
disturbing.
maximum?
It's very disturbing. So we have all these different things coming from all kinds of different
Oh, my
areas
goodness.
that affect the body that isn't really our fault.
Yeah.
Right?
Right,
But if
absolutely.
we, again, do the research and raise the awareness for ourselves, and that's why we use this platform here
Absolutely.
on WeBeam TV to bring it to you and let you decide, is this something for you? But,
Absolutely.
you know, it's so important, Krisula, obviously, to get nutrients to the brain. And if you
yes.
have toxic waste and this and that, and again, I just want to mention real quickly that we're not here to diagnose, treat, or make any kind of cure claims at all. We're just giving you an opportunity to see an alternative method that just may help you increase your body's own natural ability to heal itself.
And that's the whole thing.
Yes.
It heals itself.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And, you know, people don't realize, but it's like, this is a funny word, cell poop, right? So, you know, that has to be taken away, right? And what
exactly.
you saw with the brain and all that darkness and all that, and how it helps to pull that out of you, right? To, more or less, what do you want to say, clean or extract? That's
Yes,
a better word,
yes,
I think.
yes.
So it's amazing. It's like our breathing, right? Our inhalation and how we do that one with our lower lungs, that the extraction of all the impurities and all that. So imagine adding this to your daily routine.
That's right. And it really, in my notes, it says to unleash and open up those airwaves.
Absolutely.
And it just, and it's a very soft and easy process.
Yes.
And I want to ask Krisula if you'll just step over and show the coils on the mat. We took the mat right out
Absolutely.
of the cover so that you could actually see how this works. And then I'm going to hop on the beamer, and Krisula is going to show you exactly what she did for me hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. So, yeah. So so for somebody that's just seeing our presentation for the first time, I'm turning this over to you, girl, and share with us, how do you get started? What do you do?
Okay, so this would be your actual mat, okay? This has 6 coils. If you can sit there and see, I'm going to bring these out a little bit. You'll see some round coils here, and then you have the elongated ones for the legs, okay? So this is actually in that mat that you saw in the video. I brought it out just to show you where the coils are. So this is called the body pad.
Okay?
Then we have the brain, which is right here. This is the Pro. I like the Pro because it has 2 brains and not 1. And this right here is the pad. The pad, since it has 3 different coils, right? So we're getting stronger, more specific with the pad. And then I'll show you this one, which this is one coil, but this is very focused, localized area.
Okay,
So if I
you
want to
have
work on, let's say there's something right here on my arm, I'll put it directly on there. Okay? I always like to prep, we always like to prep the body with the mat because it's the light, it kind of just starts the circulation going. And we're going to show you how easy it is. Would you like to come on? And
I would. Now, did you want me to go right directly on the mat, or were you going to show the cover
what?
too?
Let me, you know what, go ahead and come right on the mat. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do that.
So I was going to go around.
That's okay.
Here we go. I'm going to get on this and show you exactly what my protocol was for months.
Yes.
Months. So
Okay.
you get a chance to really see how this works. And it's very relaxing.
I'm going to bring you back just a little bit.
I could tell
Just like
after,
that, so you
after
can-
the first treatment, or I don't want to call it a treatment, but over
Session?
the first session, that I felt really relaxed, and yet I had energy, okay? One of the things that is also part of the protocol is to drink a lot of water, which
yes,
I did,
absolutely.
because that just helps the flow
Right.
and all of that. And really, I meant to say when I was sitting over there, when we have these issues and all, and you know, both of us are Tai Chi instructors, so if you watch the shows very often with my husband, Dennis Kelly, we talk about energy and frequency.
Right.
So for us, we can talk our lingo. It's really blocked chi, right?
Yes.
It's blocked chi, blocked energy. So if the microcirculation is going to get the flow going, well, then maybe our body is really setting itself up as the miracle to heal itself.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to let you go ahead and explain. Now, what did you do here on the brain?
Okay, so what I did when, since this is a pro, it does have two brains, so that means that I can actually do two different things at one time. So I actually put the body pad on the first one, which that we are going to put, press the intensity, and we're just going to put it for right now, intensity 2, and since it's after 12 o'clock in the afternoon, we always like to take the plus off because that gives you extra energy. So we're going to take the plus off, and we're going to start that. The second one, which we put right here around her knees, and the reason I put it this way is because there's a coil on top of the knee, there's a coil on the bottom, and it's good for the other knee too.
Yeah.
So we put the other.
That other knee was hurt too, but they didn't recognize or want to do any kind of MRIs because it was this one that was, it basically buckled under.
Right.
Not once, but twice.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was crazy. Okay, go ahead.
So this one goes to the second slot, and we're going to put that on. So we're going to stop 1 second.
You're doing this upside down.
I
You
know,
noticed
I know.
that?
I was like, oh my gosh, am I doing this correctly? No. So I didn't. All right. We're going to go back. A2, which is the second one, I have you on the second mode. Let me do this.
And what's great about this is you start out slow.
Absolutely.
You have training for this so that you can set up your own sessions.
Right.
It's painless. It's safe.
Right.
And according to my notes too, the Beamer is also considered an FDA registered consumer medical device.
Oh yes, it's Class A.
So, I mean, if you're looking for patents, there's hundreds of patents on this too.
Oh yes, yes, and it came from Europe, and it's been in Europe, and they use it in hospitals, they use it in the ambulances and all of that for at least 15 years. Actually, we're almost close to 20 years of how long that they've been using it. And it's what the great thing about the Beamer is that is so it works with you. So if you we start off slow, nice and slow. You know, people always want to go fast, hard, and this is a nice slow frequency. and we begin you on that, and then we just bring you up as you get better, as you feel better, and we bring you up, and it's great. I use this also on the head, on the eyes. There's really, I haven't come upon something where I'm not able to use it.
See, and that's what I love about it, because it's versatile. It's very versatile. And who doesn't have however many minutes? What we start out with what? 8 minutes?
8 minutes.
We start out with 8 minutes, and that's with the pad, right?
Right.
And then you add, if you have like a targeted area that you want to address to get that circulation going there.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about the microcirculation if somebody hasn't really heard about that before? It's flowing through the body.
The oxygenation, what it does. Okay, the microcirculation system is throughout our whole body. We have the heart, which is the major pump, right? So what happens is we also have a whole bunch of sphincters that are throughout our bodies. They're also, what is the word? My goodness. Anyways, it'll come. So what happens is that helps to pump all the blood, the plasma, and everything throughout our whole bodies. This enables and helps that circulation. So it even goes to the smallest capillaries.
See, that's
so
impressive.
It pushes oxygen to the tiniest capillaries, which are like 100 times smaller, and it's amazing, because all of that, what is that doing for your body? That's allowing your body to heal itself, right?
That's right. That's right. And we were talking about, it just seems like when we add years to our life, there's more issues that can come up. And the delivery of our nutrients, our supplements.
Oh, absolutely.
If we don't get the proper nutrition, if we don't get those nutrients to us, and we need that for survival.
Yes.
And we need the oxygen.
Right. So if you're taking any type of vitamins or medicine, I love to do this right after, because it really helps with the distribution of the nutrients and everything that you're taking.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
I love to hear that. I love to hear that. And again, we're doing this demonstration to really give you guys an opportunity to see what kind of modalities are out there. And I thought, well, we have this 2020 vision for 2020, and we feel that my husband and I would be ashamed of ourselves if we don't share some of the things that we're doing that we feel that we're speaking for ourselves that has worked for us.
Absolutely.
Now, one of the things that I want to mention, because we're down to about 24 minutes or thereabouts, we were at the neurologist's office the other day, a new neurologist, and he has a Beamer mat.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
He's an integrative neurologist. And so we're going to be doing more experimentation with you. As many of you may or may not know, my husband was supposedly diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Right. And we don't like to give it a whole lot of energy, but if it's there, it's there. And so my husband's going to give you a schedule on when he can commit, because while I was healing myself, my body was healing itself as a result of really taking good care of myself while I was on that walker and doing all these different things that I could do seated. I just knew, I felt, based on how I was feeling,
right,
could this help him?
Oh, absolutely.
And so I told him, I said, I'm going to beg Krisula, which I didn't get very far. I'm all in.
Yes.
Tell Master Kelly, I am here for you guys. But he's got to do the commitment work around his classes, and that's the only reason why he wasn't able to do it. He said, "Hun, you go ahead for these sessions with Krisula. Let's see what happens."
Yes. And it's the consistency, because once you get consistent and you allow that circulation to work, right? You allow the Beamer to work on your circulation. So that's really what helps, right? Because what is poor circulation? What happens? You get dis-ease in your body, right? So what this promotes is that great circulation. So you're delivering the nutrients, you're pulling the toxins out of your body. You know, you're getting all of that. Your body is like a 20-year-old. Your circulation. I mean, really, because imagine how efficient when we were young, how efficient our bodies were, right? We would get a bruise and it's like, whatever.
Exactly.
1 or 2 days later, it was gone.
Exactly.
So, yes, I use this with my husband on anything that happens at home. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Let's get on the Bieber,
focus on
right? I know. And I'll tell you, it just feels like it's become a household word because I tell perfect strangers about it. And now I go into Publix. Oh, you have to know this story. I used one of those scooters for the first time. It was hilarious. I was running into everything. It was so bad. It was really bad. You really need a license to do that. But anyway, I just also wanted to mention too, when all this happened to me, I could not go up one step. Not one step.
Yeah.
Could I go up?
I remember.
And we don't have steps in our villa except for coming in, you know, just outside one step and then another step. But that was work.
Yeah.
That was work. And you have one flight of stairs, 2 flights of stairs. I am running up and down those stairs now, aren't I?
Yes.
Aren't I?
Yeah. And the first time you're like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, try it. And the thing is that our bodies repair, right? Because we're giving the correct types of nutrients. We're promoting the circulation and everything. And we're like, oh, can I really do this? And then the first time you're like, oh my gosh, I got this.
I know. And you know, between you and Lee for the physical therapy, now that just dinged. What does that mean?
When it dings, it means that the timer went off, so you're 8 minutes. You're done with that 8 minutes.
Okay, so who doesn't have 8 minutes, right?
Right.
Well, we've only got 20 minutes remaining, so I want to go ahead and toss to another video that we didn't see yet, and that is, it's about a 4-minute video, something like that, and then come on back to us and we'll tell you more.
Wonderful.
Hello, and welcome to Beamer. Today, we'd like to dig a little deeper into Beamer technology. By the end of this session, you will understand why and how Beamer is for you, for life, for energy. And now the obligatory disclaimer. Beamer products are in no way a substitute for professional medical care. There are no medical claims being made from the use of these products. Statements made have not been evaluated by the FDA or other government agencies and are not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any medical conditions or diseases. It's recommended that you consult with your own physician or healthcare provider if you have any medical conditions. Beamer products are wellness and fitness systems. All information is for educational purposes only. With that said, I'd like to talk about what Beamer is. The goal of any therapy is always to seek first to do no harm and to support the body's natural ability to regulate itself. Looking at the cause is more logical than waiting until something breaks to fix it. However, most people go to see a doctor when they're sick or ill or develop symptoms, very much like this iceberg that we see here. The iceberg principle. We see symptoms. People don't come in and say, I have this diagnosis or that diagnosis, but really they come in with symptoms. I have pain, I have itching, I have swelling. Regardless of the symptom, it's important to look for the cause. When we look at the causes, the majority of dysfunction comes from circulatory dysfunction. Poor blood circulation, as you can see here, can lead to decreased oxygen and therefore low energy states within our cells. That means blood flow, or rather lack of blood flow, which then yields to hypoxia, low oxygen, and then bioenergetic deficiency, that means low ATP. ATP, in short, is really the currency for energy in our body. This then affects us at a cellular level, at a tissue level, and then at an organ level, and ultimately back to symptomatic expression. What's the cause of most chronic disease? In the context of this slide, that means lack of regular exercise, poor breathing habits, physical, psychological stress, environmental stress, and poor eating habits. SAD stands for Standard American Diet. What's the common factor here? When we look at the common factor, it's poor circulation and limited oxygen availability, which leads to disrupted bioenergetics. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the term bioenergetics, bioenergetics is the study of the energy flow through living systems. That means how we take in energy, how we transform energy into a form that our bodies can use. When we have poor blood flow, low oxygen levels, and low energy, this is a recipe for disease. We really are very complex individuals. We have many systems which work in concert with one another to keep us alive. You can see that from all the systematic representations here. From that macrocosmic perspective, we can also get into a more organized state.
And here we are, we're back again, and I feel all rejuvenated from the beamer. Thank you for my session just now, while on camera, so you get a chance to see how it works. But there's a few notes here that I really want to add. I want you to see that it's been used for 15 years in over 4,000 hospitals and clinics in Europe. Absolutely. The technology is now in joint development with NASA for future spacesuits, and it was developed in Germany with over 50 publications showing the benefits of it. And there are many PEMF medical devices, but Beamer has been shown to be most effective device on the market. Now, the other thing that we mentioned earlier on, that the Beamer is also approved as a Class 1 medical device by the FDA for the following indications: general enhanced circulatory blood flow, enhanced nutrient supply, and waste disposal. So what happens is it helps you get the most benefit of the nutrients that you're putting in your mouth, whether it be supplements, organic foods, and all that, so you're getting the benefits.
Yes.
And the waste disposal. I mean, there's so many toxins that are surrounding us all over, right?
Absolutely.
So it helps to eliminate those toxins. Enhanced cardiac function, right?
Oh, yeah.
Enhanced physical fitness, endurance, strength, and energy level. Enhanced concentration, mental acuity, stress reduction and relaxation, and an enhanced quality of life. Isn't that what we're looking for?
Absolutely.
Is to live with the quality of life. And I tell you that when I think back to a year ago, I did not know if I was ever going to get my quality of life back. I was scared to death. I was so scared to death.
Yeah, it is. I think that we don't realize until something happens to us and we're unable to walk or unable to grab something, or and that's when it becomes real, right?
It does. It
and
really.
then you're like,
real, more than real.
Yeah.
Scary real.
Yeah.
Real.
So
So that's why we wanted to bring this out, and sometimes I feel like I could kick myself for not doing this sooner. But, life gets in the way, and I also wanted to let the time go to see where I'm at. Well, one full year ago,
Absolutely.
August, I went down on the dance floor, just to recap a little bit here, and it was... I left the emergency room with a big old cast, go see a sport medicine doctor. I did. They did the MRI, said it was a torn ACL, a torn meniscus, and I'm going, gosh, I've always dreaded that.
And you researched it, right?
I did.
And you
I
researched
did.
how, when they operate, this and that, what can they do, what can't they do.
And there's
then
no
you were like,
guarantees.
right.
And I asked the doctor,
Yes.
how do you know how bad this is? The response was, we don't know until we get in there.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of scary right there. So I thought,
So they're going to cut you just to find out.
yeah, so I chose an alternative method because I've been doing that for the past 50-some years, 60-some years, now approaching, going on 70. Am I going to be 71?
No, you're not.
No, I just turned 71 in October.
Oh, my gosh.
70. Yep, it's the big 7-2 now. So, I mean, I've trusted my heart in making these decisions, and if it wasn't for you and a whole lot of prayer with our Heavenly Father, please get me back on my feet. I'll give up the dancing, and if you know me, you know me. To give up my dancing, I haven't had to do that. And I thought I'd have to give up my pumps. I'm back in my heels, so I get to be taller again, except for today.
I mean,
so anyway, we have just about 12 minutes remaining. Anything else you think we've missed that you can think of?
Well, we do. If you, we have a team here. There's many people that own Beamers now.
Yes.
And we do either if you want to try it, some people want to try something first, right? Mm-hmm. And you do have an option with us. We do have one that we can rent out, or try it out first, give us a call, just,
exactly.
And if you have any questions, right?
And I know that, Krisula, we go to different events where you can also educate yourself. I'm not going to say, come and buy one right here today. I would say do your research.
Yes, absolutely.
And find out if this resonates with you. And I did my research on this 2 years ago and just, didn't get it for whatever reason. And we're doing all this with our classes and this and that. And so,
and it's actually some of the places call it a disruptive, right?
Yes.
So it's a disruptive
unit.
Yeah. What is it? Therapy. There you go. My words are a little at a loss this week. But the things is that all the positives that you can get, and kids. I have my grandkids on it. When you hear some of the doctors that have utilized this and what it does to the placenta, to the unborn child, of how safe it is for that. It's safe enough, okay, in certain circumstances, right? That one of the gentlemen, one of the doctors, actually had his wife throughout her whole pregnancy, and they literally, the midwife that actually did the childbirth, pulled him to the side and said, "Hey, what are you doing? This placenta, I haven't seen one this healthy in a long time." And she asked to cryo it, and he told her, they told her it's okay. Yeah. So imagine how safe, right?
Yeah.
It is,
exactly.
and what it does.
Yeah.
That
I hadn't heard that story, or if I did, I was in La La Land. But that's a great story. And again, I just want to make sure that you understand that we're not claiming to cure anything at all. We are not here to diagnose or treat or anything like that, because everyone is going to get different results. Some will get them sooner, some will get them later.
Right.
But the thing is to really delve in to get more knowledge. We owe this to ourselves and our families.
Oh, absolutely.
We really do. I don't know. Well, you and I have both been caregivers, Krisula.
Yes.
And I mean, I told my husband that I'm not going to be a caregiver. I told him the tree story about tying him to a tree. Anyway, never mind. That's for another time.
You don't need that anymore, though.
No, we don't need to do that. You got to find some humor in all these crazy, the health crisis and all of that.
And the thing is that you're not taking another pill. Because I'm so tired of saying, okay, now you got to take 5 of these and 10 of these, and what about them? And taking one. My father, was on 26 medications. And one was for this, and then the other one because he took so many of these, it made him sway, and one was to stop swaying, and it was like, oh my goodness. So we even put him on there, and we got rid of a lot of medications, and it's just that I love it because I don't have to deal with extra meds.
Well, medications are a real big issue for a lot of people, especially with side effects. Not that we're recommending that you just throw away your meds, but I remember when your dad, what a wonderful soul that man.
Thank you.
I know you're up there, Mike, but he was such a sweetheart, and at first he was a little resistant, wasn't he?
Yes.
I don't want that stuff.
He would call it the magic carpet.
I know.
I'm like, oh my gosh, Dad.
The magic
Please.
carpet. That's so funny.
He's like, oh, I'm not going to get on that magic carpet. I'm like, really?
but
Try
he did.
it.
What
Yeah.
made him get on after? Because he saw us all on it.
Because of all of you guys. So we had like a triage at the house.
We
in the
did. We
morning.
really did.
And we still have it.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
And he just, and kept seeing everybody get on the mat. He's like, okay, I'm going to try it. I'm like, great. So he ended up trying it out, and it was, he felt the difference.
He did.
And he was 91 when he passed. So it was towards the end of his years, but you can, it's the more the more time you spend on it, because what does circulation do? Your body starts taking care of itself. It starts healing itself, and you get to those little capillaries, to places where, oh my goodness, hasn't had.
It's hard to reach.
Yeah. And so it's amazing. It actually, when you're on the plus, when I do that in the morning before 12 o'clock, it actually works 12 to 14 hours after you get off.
So you have a residual effects.
Yeah, so it's not like you're going to have only 8 minutes of good circulation and you're done. No, it's 12 to 14 hours when you have the plus, which is a little an extra that we put the we program it for, and then in the evening. You don't put the plus, but it works up to 8 to 10 hours. So that gives you the whole night. And when you have the pro, this is what I love, and my husband loves this too, is that there's a sleep mode. So what it does is it allows you for 2 hours. When you get on it in the evening, it relaxes you, gets you into a nice sleep. And then 2 hours before you wake up, it turns back on. And then it actually helps you wake up. So it's just really, it's an amazing...
It is. I'm glad that you said that about the residual effects after you get off of it. It's not that you're on it just for 8 minutes and only feel it. In fact, I don't feel anything when I'm on it.
Right.
But it's the effects afterwards. So, it's just one of the best things that we have discovered. And believe me, we have people asking us all the time to get behind a product. And I have a litany of questions, and they are brutal. Does it do this? Where are the clinical studies?
Right.
Where are the proofs?
Right.
Where are the before and afters? Because I've been trained that way
Right.
after selling all kinds of and presenting really great products on the Home Shopping Network. And they're very strict on what, and so my brain is just really trained that way. And my husband's brain was trained that way even before I met him.
Right.
So we really feel that we know what to look for ourselves, and if it works for us, or we feel or even think it works for us, we want to bring it to the table for you guys and let you see. Think about what your 2020 vision is for 2020, because I'll tell you, I like to think that we're not getting older, but sometimes we have to face that reality, but we can still...
the number is just a number.
Just a number.
That's
You've
it.
heard me
That's
say
all
that
it
many
is.
times.
That's all
It's
it is.
just a
That's all
number.
it is.
But if you want to make some changes in your life, really do the research regardless of what it is for yourself, whether it's
Absolutely.
supplements, pills, potions, lotions, it doesn't matter. Get the research behind the company. Get the edification behind the company.
Absolutely.
Find out what they have done to help you, and you'll know whether it resonates with you or not. You'll know if a product like this is for you or not, and if there's anything Krisula and I can do to help educate you, we're here for you. You can get a hold of myself. You can get a hold of Krisula. We're on the team together to get this message out. And do you know, we saw this vision over a year ago, didn't we?
Yes.
We saw this vision, and here we are.
Yes.
We're fulfilling that dream.
Yes.
Because I figure with all this television background and presentation on products, I'd be crazy not to use our platform here.
Right.
Thanks to John Gaston, Tampa Bay Multimedia, the production company that's behind WeBeam TV. Go to WeBeamTV.com. You'll see our shows there. You'll see all the other shows. And if you want to do a show, you're welcome to come right up here to Port Richey, talk to John, and get you set up, because we've got some big plans for 2020, and this
so
is
excited.
just one of them. And we did another show last week. We're going to continue on. We've got many people lined up to bring to you maybe some different options. I just love this way of presentation to get the message out.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great that you've actually tried it and it's worked. So now you really have a place where you're like, wow, this is what happened and this is how I feel.
Exactly. So, if you have discomfort, this could be something that can help you set your body up as the miracle that you were born with. I mean, our bodies are born healthy for the most part, most of us, and there's a lot of information out there. We've just really scratched the surface.
Oh my goodness,
today.
yeah.
Just scratched the surface, and we're going to be doing another Beamer presentation in 2020, and we may even have some members from the company that you just never know that might show up either in a split screen with us, because we have the ability to do that.
Yay.
And maybe Helena. She couldn't come today, but she wanted to give a testimonial. So
wonderful.
we may even have a written testimonial from her.
Oh, fantastic.
And anybody else that we can bring on board and all. Anything else you want to share in the last 2 minutes?
Yes. I did not bring the light. We also have a light attachment that goes to this that also works with the red light, which is fantastic. And what else?
The skin.
Yes, it's for the skin.
I've had a couple of those too. I think, do my skin, do my face.
They're great. They're great.
Well, I have to say thank you so much for being willing to schlep up here with me and bring this out and raise the awareness in the community and globally. And if you like what you've heard, pass this along and let other people know, because it just might be the answer that you might be looking for. Excuse me, we're always looking for answers, and I find as we've added years to our life, there's more questions that come up that we need those answers for.
Absolutely.
We haven't gone to medical school or nutritional school. We're normal people. We're just normal everyday people, just trying to live our best life ever. And there's a lot of different alternatives out there, believe me when I tell you, and that's what we're doing. And we're going to be putting Kelly on the mat. My husband's going to be going on the mat, and his new neurologist has the Beamer in his office. So what does that tell you? He's an integrative doctor, which I really love the whole idea of that. So excuse me, think about it. I think the cold weather's getting to my throat here. But thanks for joining us today on Prime Time. And mark your calendar every Monday live at 5 on webeamtv.com. And go to that website, because you can see some of the other shows that we've aired, including all the episodes. I think we're up to episode 154. Or is that?
Wow, that's
fantastic. Something like this.
154.
154. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.